And welcome to another electrifying, you see what I did there, Neil, edition of Tech Talk Tuesday, TED Talk Tuesday, TikTok Tuesday, or whatever Ashley and Reese think it is. All I know is it's 7 p.m. It's Tuesday. It's time to jam. How you doing today, buddy?
I am great. I am not listening to a crackling mic this week, so I'm doing much better.
That's me. And I'm feeling cultured. I got this behind me.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, I can't afford the actual print, so I mean, it's like we'll do it virtually.
That's right.
Yeah. So Tech Talk Tuesday, if you're not familiar, shame on you. But also, this is the show where we try to take some of the tech news from around the whole world in the past week and give it to you in little bite-sized morsels that you could enjoy. And our first one up actually comes from Aaron. And one of my old-time favorite games, Grand Theft Auto.
An online programmer by the screen name Tost was awarded $10,000 from the game studio Rockstar Games. His reward comes from finding a major bottleneck in the Grand Theft Auto 5 loading protocols that have plagued users since 2013. After hearing about the proposed solutions, Rockstar Games was able to deploy the suggested improvements just one day after Tost revealed he was contacted by the game developer and awarded the bounty. Tost then confirmed that his login time was indeed cut from its initial 6 minutes down to just 2 after the new update. Not bad for a day's debugging. Back to you, nerds.
I'd say it's a pretty good improvement. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you cut it in a third. If you could cut performance in a third, like that's like, I would be like the hero, Like
No doubt. After all this time too, that's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's kind of crazy just bringing in a new set of eyes, just what that can do, with software engineering that we do. Like, I know we call people in all the time being like, hey, what am I doing stupid here? And I mean, this just kind of proves it that even like large game companies like need that fresh set of eyes. So
it's just unfortunate that you refer to me as stupid here. So maybe that's not what you meant, but that's what I think you meant.
That's exactly what I meant.
It's interesting. So normally those rewards are reserved for bug bounties, and but they made an exception. And I mean, how could you not?
Yeah, so. I think it probably was a bug though, like because unless it's just completely wrong or like incorrectly structured, like it almost has to be a bug.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, something that's not a bug is definitely an intentional issue, and I could tell Chad's not really feeling it. But here comes a story from Chad about China blocking the encrypted app Signal.
Last week in the news, it was announced that China is now blocking the last remaining encrypted chat app Signal. Now, this should come as no surprise given that they've shut down everything from WhatsApp to Facebook to Google to Twitter and countless others. Truly, the only remaining workaround is to use a VPN, but they've also been actively at shutting that down. So at the end of the day, should we be surprised that one of the worst dictatorial authoritative regimes is shutting down their encrypted chat apps? Absolutely not.
Did you like that look of surprise, Neil?
Oh, he was shocked, and I am shocked as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, from a privacy standpoint, I mean, this is almost not worth talking about, right? Because it's so, I don't know, business as usual, I guess, for China.
Yeah, definitely business as usual. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing new. If you haven't checked out Signal, Signal is great, and you should use it.
Yeah.
Like it's a really great app, messaging app. It is end-to-end encrypted, so everything's encrypted. No one can grab your messages midstream and read them. So yeah, it's a great little app.
Yeah, I like that the code for it is actually open source as well, so you can get in and actually see what's happening. Have I done it? No. It's way above my head, but I think that's really cool. Also, if you're an Android user, it's neat because you can actually replace your text messaging app and force all of your messages to go out via Signal. Now, that does then require anyone that you send a message to basically to set up Signal in order to reply to it. But it's interesting that there's even a capability to kind of go that way and further, I guess, strengthen your own security.
Yeah, well, speaking of security, Twitter has had some fun with that. So we're going to kick it off to Aaron to see what's up with Twitter.
Twitter hacker Graham Ivan Clark gets 3-year sentence after hacking into high-profile Twitter accounts using social engineering techniques and a replica of the Twitter login VPN. During the scam, Clark and 2 other associates posted messages on behalf of then former Vice President Joe Biden, Tesla founder Elon Musk, pop star Kanye West, and Microsoft founder and former CEO and chairman Bill Gates. Altogether, the scheme generated over $117,000 in Bitcoin, as the scammers promised to give back to the community double whatever was donated. This might be the only Bitcoin purchase worse than the OG Bitcoin for pizza stories. Back to you, nerds.
Yeah, what's your take on this, buddy?
Yeah, I don't know what to think. I think it's funny that it is Bitcoin because that number fluctuates, right? So like time of writing, that number is what Aaron said, but it's probably not right now. So yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's wild, and I'm glad they nabbed this dude, but at the same time, it's embarrassing, right? And I think that's why they went so heavily after him, because it should be embarrassing if you're Twitter. He used a lot of social engineering and not a lot of actual what we call traditional hacking. And I know you've actually talked a lot about that in the past. So I think it's again, it's fascinating. Your security is only good as the weakest link, and oftentimes as human beings, right? So this just really exposed. It could have been, it was Twitter this time. It really could have been anybody.
Yeah, and I think that's important to stress too, is that it really could have been anyone. Twitter just ended up getting caught out here. But yeah, I think what you said is really important too, is that you said oftentimes it is the human is the weakest link. It's almost always that is
You're
the
right.
human link,
Yep.
or the weakest link. So yeah, I mean, you have to be conscious of what's going on.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, I think that's a really good point. Yeah, I stand corrected. It is almost always
Yes.
the human side of things. And that's really in any security setup. So yeah, I think that's kind of interesting. Again, I'm glad they nabbed him. But there's it's like that real Slim Shady, right? Like there's a million of them just out there. So yeah, you got the one that there's plenty more that you're not going after and that are doing things that are at least as I don't know, ornery. Is that it? I'm sure like Old Man Ray is using the word ornery, but I think that's
Yeah, I mean, I think they were trying to make an example of this guy, but at the same time, like it feels kind of soft to make an example of him too. But I am glad that it's at least getting some publicity, being like, hey, this happened. Like we're trying to make it right. Even from a PR perspective for them, like it's good for them to just say like, hey, yeah, this happened. We dealt with it. So
yeah, I think it's a good point.
Yeah, well, moving from one social media to another social media company, Facebook has some really neat tech that we saw this week, and we wanted to share it with you. So here's Chad.
Last week, Facebook Reality Labs released a blog along with a video that highlights fascinating human-computer interaction technology that will allow users to wear a set of wristbands that will allow you to rather pair with AR, augmented reality glasses, and or flat screens, TVs, etc. These wristbands will read neurotransmissions as your brain is sending a signal directly to your hands and or fingers to either type, swipe, interact in a game, and or navigate the web. Unlike other AR platforms such as Microsoft HoloLens and or Oculus, users will only need to wear the wristbands and don't need to wear certain handheld devices that they will either pick up or set down. The wristbands are fascinating in that they will also learn as they go, along with a particular with a user, meaning that it will even be able to start predicting what you're going to type before you're going to type it as it goes to help augment that and be faster at certain tasks and activities. Now, another cool section about this wristband is that they have individual sections all around them that will inflate or deflate rather, to pick up on certain activities, such as increasing tension as you're pulling back on a bow and arrow, and or even swinging a particular object. Now, the nice thing about this is this means a couple things. One, we're closer to the computer interface that was in the movie Minority Report that allowed them to access and do all sorts of sets of things wearing augmented reality glasses and really certain handheld devices. This is also, I wonder if you could take that section with the wristbands where I mentioned that it would inflate or deflate to simulate certain activities, if you could expand that to more of like a full bodysuit in the movie Ender's Game, where they wore these bodysuits and played an advanced form of laser tag that would tighten up when getting shot in a certain section of body, which would be really awesome for games such as Call of Duty and things of that nature. Guess time will tell. We'll have to see.
I mean, I just want to say defleet. So bad.
I know, I did too, and I was like, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
I can't not say it. I think Chad expects us to say it, and so I want to fulfill his wishes, however dark and deep down they may be.
That's right.
But yeah, I think this is cool. Man, those things are pretty big.
Yeah, they look big, but I think that a lot of those pictures, they were on a woman as well, so they're going to appear a little larger. But like, this feels like a prototype, right? Like, it feels like, hey, we've got this technology that we want to try out, and so I think before it even comes commercial, like, they'll be able to pare that down, like they're iterate over the technology, but I think the possibilities of this are really, really freaking cool. Like, if you guys have ever watched the show before, you know Matt and I love VR and AR experiences, and this is another step in the direction that I really want to see, like VR and AR games go specifically. But taking away just the like video game aspect of it, it has a lot of other possibilities too, which I think is really neat. So yeah, so what do you think, man?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that this has been a little bit of a holy grail in the past few years is how to, kinesthetically, activate things in a meaningful way using smaller gestures and having more fine motor control. We talked about that to some degree with the Oculus. And it goes probably all the way back to the Power Glove for Nintendo. So which I'm pretty sure got ripped off for the Avengers Endgame, but it's fine. But yeah, I think Thanos was borrowing some stuff from Nintendo. But yeah, no, I think this is a really cool step in that direction. To your point of miniaturization, totally makes sense, and I'm just eager to see kind of what the final maybe V1 that actually makes it into a commercial market looks like. And let's be honest, I'll probably be one of the first ones to pick one up.
Yeah, give Facebook all that data.
That's right.
All right. Well, with that, that's all the stories we have for today. So we're gonna go on to the user question. So the question this week is, what software do you use to produce the show? Matt, you want to take this one?
Nope, I don't, but I'm willing to. And so the answer to this is it's really a mixture of things, right? So we are happy to be on StreamYard, which is our platform. You can find, again, there's not a paid promotion here, but StreamYard.com. It's a very, very minimalist kind of interface, but it's great because it's all web-based, right? So there's not a lot of heavy software and stuff for doing and trying to figure out, okay, what is RTMP streaming, and like, what does that look like? What does it even mean? Do I need these, distribution software? Do I need, content distribution servers and things like that? All that guesswork and all that need to kind of figure that stuff out is already taken care of for us. So we really like that. And then I know, you and I have been starting to get into Adobe Premiere.
Yeah, so that's what we use to actually edit all of the news clips that you guys see, or any of the segments that we'll show you guys. So Adobe Premiere is a really great tool. It is, what is it, like $15 a month or something like that
Yeah, it's
to
not bad.
use. So it's not bad at all. If you're looking to get into video editing, it's a great place to start. And obviously, Adobe has a lot of other tools that you can look into as well, like Photoshop.
Yeah, and then for just a couple of little effects and things that we've been working on, Adobe After Effects. So really that Adobe suite is kind of amazing when it comes to touching some of these things up. But other than that, really not a lot. I mean, it's just webcams, right? And we have some microphones. Dare I move it? I'm going to. Yes, and the occasional set of headphones when things go a little bananas or you get a little bit of echo. So, but all in all, it's actually a pretty sleek operation and a small operation, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. I think that covers everything, though. So thanks for that question. But with that, that's all we have for this edition of Tech Talk Tuesday. So thank you for joining us. If you want to read up on any of the stories that Matt, myself, Aaron, or Chad talked about today, man, the list is getting longer. You can find them in the description below. Check out the Facebook stuff. It's really cool. I would suggest that one. But yeah, while you're down there, go ahead and give us a follow, like the stream, like the video. It really helps us out to get more exposure so we can get more people watching the show and actually interact with us and the show, I guess. But yeah, so we would love for you to do that. You also will not miss any future editions of Tech Talk Tuesday because you'll get notifications for them. We go live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. We've been doing it for almost a year now. I just looked. I think this is episode 49. So almost a year. We're happy to have all you guys here. But with that, we'll see you next Tuesday.